Hey everyone, we are back for another episode of Crabcakes and Baseball. Today we've got a lot of fun going on. We're going to be talking on the 2025 class rankings. Going to be talking about some sleepers that are within that class. Some guys we haven't really got to touch on enough that we want to talk about to keep an eye on for this upcoming spring and currently at the moment as well this fall. And then we're going to get into our first tournament of the fall season, the Maryland Fall Classic. A lot of players to talk about, want to get over it, and let's get started.
This is Carter Sweeney Strawberry, 2026.
Hi, I'm Michael Goldsmith, class 2026.
This is Landon Daniel, 2026.
This is Pierce Quinn from the John Carroll School, and you're watching Crabcakes and Baseball.
Hello, all. I am Jerry Shank. It is Crabcakes and Baseball. With me, as always, most important man in this episode, we've got the Maryland Delaware Scouting Director, Jamie Nail. How are we doing, sir?
Another day in paradise, Jerry. We're doing well on this side. Got back from Salisbury late Sunday night. Got another tournament coming up this weekend. Big scout day with DCP as well. So fired up for all of that.
Yeah, big moves. Big moves. Actually get to do more than one tournament a season this year in the state of Maryland. So got another one next weekend also. So really excited and really pumped up that we're able to do that. We want to be doing that more often to get some more tournaments. It was a really good tournament, but I digress. We're going to get into that just a little bit later. Let's start it off. We're going to talk 2025 class, and we're going to talk about some sleepers. We went in our rankings pod, I guess it was about 3 weeks ago, talking about the 2025 rankings in general, talking about new faces, the top 10. But now we're going to take just a little bit of time before we get into the tournament, Jamie. Let's talk about some of these guys that we think, are crawling in the weeds, and not just necessarily uncommitted players, but even committed players too, who just might be on the cusp of shooting themselves up the rankings a little bit more towards the end as they head towards the end of their senior year, heading towards college campuses. So let's get it started, and let's go. First and foremost, we're going to go to a committed player right here, a Frostburg State commit, infielder, recent commit. We've talked about him in the past, but we really like him, and you want to touch on him again, and that is Westminster's Will Molman.
Yeah, we talked about Molman at the when we reviewed the Carroll County Scout Day, and I talked about the strength and the physicality and everything that was added since our last look, and just really want to touch on Molman here. He sits right inside the top 50 as the consistency increases, really on both sides of the ball. You're going to continue to see him trend in the right direction. He's going to continue to trend north. We really like that hit tool. We love the power upside, love that left-handed stroke. The more consistent the hit tool is and the defensive actions are, you're going to continue to see him rise in these rankings. So definitely just wanted to touch on Molman one more time.
Oh, absolutely. Let's continue on. Let's get rolling with this. We're going to try to make this a little bit of a faster episode, as long as I'll shut up, because we know it's all my fault. It's not you, Jamie. Let's go to Rising Sun, left-handed pitcher here, Luke Crowell.
Yeah, still uncommitted, left-handed arm. Cole Ledger was on him a bunch last spring. Really liked the fastball, mid to upper 80s, sits in the upper 80s. Still a little bit left in the tank as well. Like that breaking ball, it's tight, works on both sides of the plate. Change up down and away to righties. I think it can become a plus pitch in the near future. This is a very exciting arm to grab eyes on, especially heading into the fall as we get deeper into this calendar year.
All right, continuing forward. Let's go down south a little bit now, and let's head to DeMatha Catholic. Corner infielder, catcher, versatile athlete here, Jaden Dennis.
Yeah, this is a guy that I was big on this spring. Really like the physicality, love the ability to spray line drives to all fields. I think the power upside is there. It continues to increase in each look. Really like that hit tool, like the versatility defensively as well. I like the third baseman option there. There's some arm strength to stay on the left side of the diamond. And then I like the actions behind the plate as well. So versatile defender, like that hit tool, can spray line drives to all fields. Really like Jaden Dennis.
Yeah, it continues to get better too. It's always fun to see. And obviously about that with all the players that we're talking about here. Thus the topic that we started with. All right, now let's go to Arundel And we got a middle infielder here, one I know you definitely are a fan of, and that's Roland Thursby.
Yeah, huge on this hit tool. Really impressed this spring. Cole and I were both on Thursby a bunch. Just really like the gap-to-gap power that's on full display, and it's pretty consistent in each look. Like the athleticism, there's a speed factor there as well, like the defensive actions. But Roland Thursby, really like that hit tool. And like I said, it's a guy that continues to trend up.
All right. Now, let's head west now, and let's go to the Avalon School down close to our nation's capital. Right-handed pitcher here, Caden Brayman.
Yeah, Caden Brayman transferring to Avalon now. He is the leader of a very young, very talented program at Avalon. I really like this arm. Out of the Richmond Braves program, or Mid-Atlantic Red Sox, I'm sorry. But really, really like Brayman. Love the fastball, mid to upper 80s. Can spin it as well. I think there's still plenty of velo left in that tank. This is a guy that I believe every look he continues to get better. I think there's still life with the fastball, still plenty left in the tank, and I really like that body as well. So Caden Brayman, I think, is going to be a huge fall and a huge spring leading that Avalon program.
All right. That's going to do it for our sleepers for this one. Now, stay tuned next week. We're also going to give you some more sleepers after we do our Fall World Series recap as well. But just wanted to throw something really, really quick in here on some of the 2025 class players that you need to know and you want to keep an eye on heading into the spring season and as you finish up your falls. All right. Now, let's go to the Maryland Fall Classic this past weekend. Just over 30-some teams that were in this tournament at Henry S. Parker Stadium in Salisbury, Maryland, just about 20 minutes outside of Ocean City. Cool place. One of my favorite places to go watch some baseball. It's not necessarily the perfect setup in terms of scouting, but it's different, and I think that's why I like it so much, because you get to see some trees, you get to go move around a little bit. It's something that's a little different. So it's a fun place I always enjoy going to. And we held an upper division and an under division. The upper division champs were the Wow Factors, G's, Lions. And then your under division champs were the Virginia Tigers out of Central Virginia area. Now, let's get into this tournament. Again, it was a really good one. Great way to kick off our fall. Jamie, you got to lay eyes on a lot of players this week. I know it's kind of hard to express all that brain vomit that's going out right now. But let's go and let's start with Wow Factor, the champs of the upper division. They had a lot of interesting talent on this team. So I know you want to go over a few of them now. So let's start it off. We're going to go to a new player within the Maryland, within the state, really now at 80 Scale Academy, and that's 2026 Javith Carrion.
Yeah, there's not many hitters, especially hitters, this weekend that opened my eyes as much as Carrion did. We saw him on both Wow Factor teams. It's a very young 2026 here, physical switch hitter. I saw the right-handed stick early on and then the left-handed stick later on in the weekend. But there's plenty of power upside here, like the athleticism, love the physicality. Shortstop, third baseman, probably see as a third baseman for the future, but really, really like that hit tool. I talked to Shooter Hunt about him as well. So that hit tool was very, very impressive.
No, for sure. You definitely, especially when you see somebody new for the first time, you're like, why did I miss this? What's going on? And then you're like, holy cow, like this is a really good player. And it's actually the other way around. It's like, holy cow, this is a really good player. And then you look, you're like, wait a minute, they're from here. I haven't got to see them yet. I know we both get fired up when that happens, but just came here from out of state. So we'll leave it there. And really, really impressive tournament so far. Next one, 2026, still on Wow Factor. Let's go to Chesapeake High School. Dylan Adams.
Yeah, Dylan Adams was big on him this spring. Really liked him this summer as well. Now see him in the fall early on. Continues to get better. Really like the fastball, mid to upper 80s. He'll live 85, 86. Really like the spin on the breaking ball. Can throw it to righties, can throw it to lefties, can spin it for strikes. Work to both sides of the plate. It's a high spin breaker into the 26, 27, 2800s even. So really like that breaking ball. Really like the pitch ability as well. So Dylan Adams, you want to talk about a competitor. Dylan Adams definitely fits that mold and really, really good look at him this past weekend.
All right. Now let's stay with that wow factor team. Got a few more that we're going to talk about here. And out of Northeast High School, let's go 2026 Chase McLaughlin.
Yeah, Chase McLaughlin. A bunch of our scouts were on Chase McLaughlin all weekend long, especially on this Wow Factor team. But physical bat here, really like the hit tool. It played consistently all weekend long. Huge two RBI double in the championship game that we're showing here. So the power upside is there. It continues to increase in each look. Really like that hit tool. Pretty consistent on barrel as well. So really good weekend from Chase McLaughlin.
Yep, and continuing on with the trend for wow factor, another 2026 at Magruder we've talked about for a while, and I know a player that we are both fans of, Matt Strahan.
Yeah, quick hands, fluid actions at the plate. Really like the run tool. The hit tool was there on full display this weekend as well. On barrel consistently, had multiple hits in multiple games. Really like the athleticism. Can spray line drives to all fields with strength present to the pool side. So Matt Strahan, big weekend from him. And obviously this is a guy that we've been on for a very long time.
Absolutely. Now let's stay last one here, or no, two more with the wow factor. And we're going to go 2026 class, future games alum, Urbana High School's Caden Lipscomb.
Yep, future games alum. Another great look at Caden Lipscomb. Love the athleticism, love the versatility, and the ability to really pick it defensively. I thought that he did a very good job all weekend long at the shortstop position and third base. Really like the arm strength and the actions. Hit tool played consistently, sprayed balls all over the field, strength to the middle. So it's really fluid. It's really smooth. It's really repeatable and all that kind of stuff. So Caden Lipscomb, another really strong weekend with wow factor.
All right, and then last but not least, from a wow factor, we're going to go to the Young Bucks, going to the 28 class out of Boonesboro High School, Rhett Springer.
Yeah, this is a guy that I saw. It was either Friday night or early Saturday, and I fell in love with the swing. It's projectable. It's advanced for the age in that 28 class. Ability to lengthen the barrel through the zone. Smooth, short, left-handed swing. Really like the ability to spray line drives to both gaps. And there's some projectable pop there as well. So Rhett Springer, definitely one in that 28 class. So definitely keep eyes on.
All right, now let's continue on. Let's go talk about our underclass champs for just a second here. And from the Virginia Tigers, we've got 2026 Isaac Jackson.
Yeah, Isaac Jackson out of Virginia. So obviously this is one of my, if not the first look on Isaac Jackson. Got the start in the championship game for Virginia Tigers and shut down that primetime lineup. That was pretty loaded and did very well this weekend. Imposing 6'1", 220. So it's not a fun AB getting up there and facing that. Fastball work 79 to 81. Lived pretty much 80-81 throughout the appearance. Spun the breaker down below the zone, got swing and miss. So really, really like that arm. Successful game. Obviously, he worked a shutout, 7 innings, but definitely a big performance out of him.
All right, and then another arm that really stuck out and impressed this past weekend, also a two-way talent, but we're going to talk about 2025 Randolph-Macon commit. Now we're going to the East Coast Titans now, and he is out of James M. Bennett. That is Corey Fisher. I feel like I said 150 different schools or organizations right there. Corey Fisher out of James M. Bennett for the East Coast Titans, committed to Randolph-Macon. Go.
Corey Fisher. This is a guy that threw in the championship in that upper division. I was on the lower division watching that championship game. Corey Fisher, I tried to get up there as many times as I possibly could, but he got that start in that game, went 6 scoreless against that very potent wow factor lineup. 85-87, touched 88, touched 89, curveball slider in the zone, getting whiffs, was able to spin it pretty consistently and pretty much at will. Love the intent, love the competitiveness. There's a lot to like with Corey Fisher. He continues to get better in each one of our looks, but strong performance there for the East Coast Titans in that championship game.
Yeah, and it's a really impressive arm that is Corey, and watching him progress through the years has been really, really fun to see, and really starting to see that on the bump, like you're saying. And then also, I just do want to shout out the athleticism of one Jamie Nail, as I'm here just freaking out and pressing all the wrong buttons on this podcast. So sorry to Corey for kind of taking away the people are like, what in the heck is this cat doing? Putting myself on there, going on there, saying 55 different names, no clue what's going on. My man Jamie just stayed in. He stayed in the moment and just knocked it out of the park right there. So great job for you, but even better job, Corey Fisher, on the weekend. So we don't want to lose that there during that whole time. It was a really impressive performance from the young man for the East Coast Titans. All right, let's stay with those East Coast Titans, and let's go to another Bennett talent. That's 2026 Cooper Witt.
Yeah, Cooper Witt. I got a text during the weekend. Cole Ledger shot me a text, said, hey, I got a 26 down here that's throwing really well, like how the arm works. So threw up some video on Twitter. Really like the projection here in this arm. Got up to 85. Sat about 81, 82 to 83, 84, but really like how the arm works. There's some deception there. Kind of a tough slot as well, works cross body, but showed the ability to work the fastball and the slider off of each other, threw them for strikes, spun it pretty consistently. So really like that arm out of the 26 class. It was our first look, or at least my first look at Cooper Witt, and he definitely impressed.
All right, and then another player for the Titans. Last one we're going to talk about here today. We're going to North Dorchester, 2026 Manny Reyes.
Yeah, Manny Reyes. Really like this hit tool. Love the athleticism. Love the speed factor as well. Was on barrel consistently. Every time I looked over at that game, he was on base one way or the other. Pull side juice, pull side strength with the ability to spray some line drives to all fields. But really like that hit tool. Like I said, the athleticism is something that really opened my eyes in each look. But really like that hit tool and the ability to kind of fill out that frame. You can tell it's athletic, but it's projectable, and he can really add strength to that, and you're going to see power numbers increase.
All right. Now let's go to API, another talented team based kind of out of that Arundel County area. Let's go to Annapolis Area Christian School, 2027. A guy that we've been really intrigued about was at a summer event. We thought there's definitely something there. So it was good to catch a glimpse of him in the fall, and that's 27 Roman Cobb.
Yeah, Roman Cobb, some advanced strength in this frame. He continues to get better in each look. Really, really like the hit tool. Played consistently on the weekend, power upside to the pull side, but was on barrel consistently. And I just like the actions. It's fluid, it's smooth, it's pretty consistent. But Roman Cobb, definitely one to watch in that 27 class as he continues to rise up these rankings in what is a pretty loaded 27 class across Maryland and Delaware, but Roman Cobb definitely adds his name to that list.
Yeah, it's really shaping up nicely. And we talked about it during that rankings pod too, with like, this is where we'll really start to see some people start to separate, and you'll really see it take its full form. It's going to be a lot of fun in that class, but kudos to Roman for a good weekend. Now let's go back to the 2025 class. Another committed player here. He's a Towson commit, played for Savage National out of Reservoir High School. It's Matthew Russell.
Yeah, Matthew Russell started the tournament off with a bang, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the one and only home run on the weekend. Matthew Russell got it early Saturday morning, turned on a fastball and went deep out to left. But like the hit tool, like the two-way ability, obviously with the arm, I think there's plenty of upside there, and that's where the ceiling is. Tough slot, deceptive. Fastball lives in the mid-80s. Still plenty more in the tank to get up into the upper 80s, maybe into the low 90s. But really like that arm, the ability to spin as well and induce a plethora of weak contact and all that kind of stuff. So Matthew Russell, big weekend for him. Just really like the body, like the projection there.
Slinger. Love the arm slot there. Love it from that low 3/4 slot. All right, last one here today that we are going to talk about. Let's go. We're going to go out of state. So we can make our donations to other states' players. We were doing 2 this time, folks. We gave 1 to Virginia. Now we're throwing a bone out to our friends up north, Pennsylvania. Let's talk about 2026 for the PA playmakers, Cole Hoffaker.
Yeah, showing PA some love here, and it was really for good reason. Really like this hit tool. Every time I was on the playmakers game or one of our scouts were on that field, this guy was on barrel, and the power upside is legit. Went multiple extra base hits in multiple games, triples, doubles, into the left center field gap, right center field gap. So like the athleticism, like the power upside as well. But that hit tool definitely sparked all weekend long. So wanted to talk about Cole there.
Yeah, and Cole, apologies if we butchered or if I butchered your last name. Just apologies right then and there. But that's going to do it. It was a really good tournament. Thank you to all who came to play. The weather was nice. Had a little bit of rain. We had some curveballs on Sunday, as every fall tournament it feels like is when you're just working in such a condensed time frame. It's tough to make everybody happy. Because you only have so many things that you can do with any sort of weather change or anything like that. But a huge thank you to all of them. It was a really good tournament. Great way to kick off the fall. And what's even better is we got another one this weekend and another one the following weekend. Super busy weekend this weekend coming up in the Mid-Atlantic. Maryland especially, we've got our Fall World Series tournament this weekend. And then we've also got another scouting event that we run with the Delmarva Aces organization, Battlegrounds. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be really, really busy. Jamie, I know you're going to be bouncing around both since they're going to be basically in that Salisbury area. So just try to stay above water, huh?
Yeah, that's going to be the thing is trying to stay above water, but it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of talent at both of those events. Tournaments loaded with talented teams, and that DCP Scout Day, the Battlegrounds, is always a lot of fun. So can't wait to get out there. Not a lot of sleep will be had, but can't wait to get it rolling.
Going to be a very good weekend, a lot of fun, and a ton of talent. One more quick plug. Don't forget, be visiting prepbaseballreport.com/Maryland. We've got our October 19th and 20th weekend, the fall ID for 2026, 27, 28 grads, and then the unsigned senior games on October 20th. And then for any 7th grade, 8th grade rising, we'll be a rising freshman. So that's a 2029 and 2030 graduate. I just had a sad feeling in my soul because I'm just that old saying the words 2030. Man, that's kind of depressing. Thanks me. But that's for 2029 grads and 2030 grads. It's the Rising Stars event, Fall Rising Stars event. All of these events over that 19th and 20th weekend going to be at Joe Cannon in Hanover, Maryland. Going to be a ton of fun. We've got a really nice roster already. Can't wait to get some more. So make sure you go out there and you check it out. Make sure you're visiting prepbaseballreport.com/Maryland/news. Any information, we've got a ton of stuff going out. Jamie's doing a big series right now on players to follow, positionally, class, a little bit of everything. So make sure you're checking that out, as well as the heat sheet from this past weekend's tournament. You can find all of that. Rankings have been updated the past month. There's a ton of information out there on the site. Make sure you go there and you check it out because it's definitely a lot of good stuff. And then last but not least, if you're enjoying this, make sure you go to youtube.com, go to our PBR Mid-Atlantic page, give us a like, subscribe to us. You'll get updates whenever we do something new between Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia. We've got plenty of stuff. We're trying to think about some more things to continue to do on our channel. So we really do enjoy it. If you ever have any ideas, have any ideas or anything you want to see done, reach out to one of us. You got Nail, N-A-I-L-L at prepbaseball.com, or myself, Shank, S-H-A-N-K at prepbaseball.com. I will now stop talking. Jamie, do you have any words of wisdom?
No, I mean, you covered it all, Jerry, like you always do. You covered it all. Phenomenal job. We had this one. This pod is a little shorter. Got a lot more coming out. We're going to have big pods coming out next weekend to go over the tournament, go over the Battlegrounds as well. So a little recap there. A lot of stuff on the website, a lot of stuff on social media. Make sure you check it out.
Yeah, in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be double dipping. So we'll have a Tuesday pod and a Thursday pod. We're going to be covering tournaments and then also doing more on sleepers, players in the weeds. So we got a lot of content coming out. Want to get it out there for you. Hope everybody's having a happy fall, a good time. And that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you again for watching and listening. It's Crabcakes and Baseball because that's what Prep Baseball Maryland does. We'll see you guys next time.